I hope it's audible right now, Karuna. If it's not audible, let me know. So the main purpose of why we take these sessions is that we saw that a majority of the people are not using, have taken Sidebook and are not using up to its full potential. So there was a certain sector who was only using the rate library, and along with that, you have quotations and expense tracking, which they are not using. Or even in the rate library, there's a lot of features, but not everybody is using it to the full potential. So we thought of making sure that we will tell you on how, on a day-to-day basis, can such a tech tool be helpful for you. So the first session which we took was primarily just around the Sidebook library. So it was mainly related to the rate analysis and what exactly are the features within rate analysis. So there's a feature where in a single rate analysis you can have multiple options. So that we got a lot of messages later on saying that we this is such a superb feature and we didn't know about it. That was the main focus behind starting these webinars, so that you get to know all the features, whatever you're within Sidebook, and how you can implement it on a day-to-day basis for your projects. The second session which we took was mainly around digital estimation and interactive quotes. For those who just didn't attend the first session, I'll quickly show this just one feature about it. Yeah, all of you can use it, okay? Those who are light pro and premium users have this facility of this feature. So I'll just take a random example right now. So I'll go to flooring, maybe natural stone, and we'll take this first option for Italian marble flooring. Now this is Italian marble flooring, and the I have the analysis with me. So I've got the cost at 695 rupees per square feet. So I have crema marble slab here. So if I change this to a different type, I have Dyna now, and my rate analysis has changed to 632. Second, if I'm not using river sand, if I'm using some maybe crust sand, then my earlier it was 695. Now I've reduced it to 623. So you can play with the analysis and all those things. The second session which we took was more about digital estimation and bill of materials and how you can create interactive quotations. So I'll just quickly walk you through that. So going to digital estimation. So we are working on a lot of things within the digital estimation as well, where we'll be soon starting with the trainings for digital estimation softwares. So basically, a lot of people right now are moving to digital estimation, but still there is a certain people are not still more focused on using CAD, Excel. Once they start using the digital estimation, then only they understand on the benefits of using digital estimation. So today's session is more focused about we'll be more talking about expense tracking and how you can achieve guaranteed profits using tech for your uh, any type of project, whether it is an interior project or whether it is a bungalow project. So, with respect to using a certain tool, any tool, whether it is Sidebook or any other tool, how you can have guaranteed profits is what we are going to talk about. So this is primarily the payments. Just a minute. Okay. So this is primarily the payments section within Sidebook, which we are going to talk about. And I'll just start with the on how you should go about it. But if you have any questions related to it, please feel free to punch the questions. So so don't ask questions related to the rate library or digital estimation right now. Let's focus on making sure that how you can set a system or what processes should be in place wherein you can make sure that you have guaranteed profits. We have Indrajit sir with us also, so he'll be mostly answering the question and answers. And sir, if you feel you want to add anything to what I'm saying, you can do that as well. So I'll just start with on the first step, so like I mentioned earlier, just for those who have just logged in, first session was rate analysis. So tracking profits or making sure that your project is profitable is like it's not a you cannot be just having accurate estimates and then it'll everything will go in place. It has to be each and everything has to be in such a manner that your first step is rate analysis or your rates are perfectly put. Your second is all your quantities or your whatever material quantities or item quantities you have put are accurate. And third is then while you get the project, tracking of those expenses is perfectly done. So we're talking about the third step right now. So I'll just show you how you can use this within the Sitebook software. So I'll create a new project and I'll just name the project as sample payments. So for those who are not creating quotations or anything, you can just, if you want to make sure मेरा project profitable है या नहीं ये देखना है ना, तो that can be done here. So I'll just say create, and I don't want to create a quotation. So trust me, my father, he's into contracting, so he is completely only using the expense tracking feature because क्लियर कट उनको समझ में आता है कि प्रॉफिट है या नहीं. He still comfortable sometimes using Excel for making quotations because those are just one line statements. Slab area पे 1800 रुपए है, so he said I don't want the quotation but this expense tracking I'll 100% use it. So he's only using it for the expense tracking. So expense payments is the third option in these three icons. So I'll go to payments and I'll show you how a payment has to be punched. So lot of times we get this that payments का option नहीं मिल रहा है. So that's why I'm explaining it in such basic details where आपका first quotation है, दूसरा invoicing है, तीसरा payments है. ठीक है? Then there's other things like report creation and all. So I'm not going to discuss that right now. We've already discussed that earlier. Now, your first is either you can add an expense or you can add a receipt. So let's assume I have got a certain payment from a client. So I'll just put it as maybe client. I can put a back dated as well. So those who are thinking that ये तो tool दिखा रहा है बाकी webinar की बातें नहीं कर रहा है, we are going to come to that one by one. I just want to set up the first basic thing on how to put up the basic details within Sitebook. So maybe I've received 1 lakh from the client as a cash payment, and this is my advance. If I want to put any, I want to attach the invoice or bill or anything, I can do that, and I'll say add. So I've got that who has created it, who has updated it. Now I'll add one more expense. So I'll add an expense now. So going to add expense, I'll put party name. So maybe my first expense is just for a flooring contractor. Again, I can change the date if I want to. And maybe I have given him an uh, advance of maybe 15,000. Again, maybe this is an NEFT. And I'll put it a simple expense right now. So this is flooring. And my expense on, I can put it whatever it is. Now, the important thing here is the work category. So right now we'll just punch this expense, but why work category is important, I'll explain you in a bit. So description, if you want to add anything, invoice one, RA bill one, and just add. So first step here I'm getting is कितना पैसा अभी तक मिला है, कितना खर्चा हुआ है, बैलेंस कितना है. ठीक है? Now a lot of times what happens is you have uh, your subcontractor has submitted probably say an invoice of 1 lakh और आप उसको अभी 10,000 का ही पेमेंट देने वाले हो. So then how do you do that within the tool? So I'll just again um, add expense. Maybe now this is, I'm putting in random examples. Okay, just ignore the examples which I'm putting. I'll put this as maybe 25,000. Again, mode of payment is not important right now. I'll make this as unpaid. And I now here I'm giving him an advance payment of maybe 5,000 or maybe 10,000, whatever. Okay. Again, work category is very important. So a lot of times people don't understand, but putting in your work category is very important when you're using this, because there is a feature within Sidebook where you can track like expense versus estimate for each category you can track. So if you're a contractor, say बंगलो contractor, आपको फर्स्ट स्टेप से पता चलने वाला है कि भाई एक्सकावेशन में मैंने 1 लाख पकड़ा था, मेरा 1,20,000 खर्चा हो गया है, तो मैं ऑलरेडी 20,000 लॉस में हूं. सो इट्स गोइंग टू गिव योर रिपोर्ट एज यू गो अहेड कि भाई एट दिस मोमेंट यू आर इन लॉस इन द फर्स्ट 3 ट्रेड्स विच यू हैव डन. सो यू हैव टू मेक श्योर कि आगे जाके you are profitable. So that's why this is important. So I'll show an example of this also later on, but right now we'll just put this. So again, I'll put this as an M plus L expense and add it. So here again, I have an example कि MF पेंटर ने 25,000 का इनवॉइस सबमिट किया है. आई हैव पेड 5,000 and I have got my unpaid expenses are about 20,000 rupees. So I hope this part is clear on how you can punch an expense or a receipt. If there are any doubts with respect to this, feel free that if you've not understood, I can just quickly walk through it again. So, sir, just before we move forward to the next part, I just had one question. Uh, could you just let us know what was the thought process while we had we met a lot of people wherein we asked them what exactly problems do they face while tracking the payments. So could you just tell about that, anything about it?
Yeah, Shaunak. So basically, we started as a estimation or code generation tool to start with, but later on, we understood that problems are more difficult during the execution phase, and people do get surprises at the end, even though they have done the estimation
Right.
correctly. So, tracking of expenses against the estimate is equally important, and that's why we came up with this payment section so that you get complete visibility of your profitability right from the start of the project, and there are no surprises at the end.
Right. So actually, as Sir rightly pointed out, we asked a lot of people, mainly architects, interior designers, and 90% of them told us, end of the project, we know that we are in a loss, or we if we've decided on getting 100 rupees, we're getting only 10 rupees or 20 rupees for that project. So that's why now we came up with this next point, which I'm going to tell you. So I hope everybody understood on how you can punch an expense. Okay. Just if I have to show you, go to this project, and here the third option is payments. Here you'll go to payments and then add expense, add receipt, and punching that is very easy. Now I specified on uh, putting the work category. So putting the work category, why is it important? Like Sir mentioned right now, expense versus estimate at category level can be tracked within Sidebook very easily. So here I'll just go to expense, and then I have a filter here. Okay, a lot of filters are here. So again, a lot of people don't know about these filters as well. So later on, if you want, you can just try it out at your end. We might not discuss all the filters, but I'll focus on the filter which we're talking about right now, which is the work category. So if I select work category, and if I take an example of maybe wall tiling, so here I am getting that for wall tiling, my estimated amount was 1.8 lakhs, which the software will take on its own. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. You can just he will take it from your quotation, whichever is approved. He will take it, that he'll add the, even if there are maybe 3 4 work items, but they are under this category which is wall tiling, so he'll add it up. And then expenses, like I showed you, you punch it. So here you get an idea on what the balance to spend is. So in this particular case, I know that I am putting money from my pocket to complete the wall tiling work because खत्म होने के बाद क्लाइंट मेरे को 1,80,000 ही देने वाला है, और मैंने अभी तक इसमें 1.91 lakhs ऑलरेडी डाला हुआ है. सो बैलेंस टू स्पेंड इज like there is no amount balance to spend now. And with this, there is also report with get generated, like total summary you will get, wherein you'll understand whether in which item are you profitable or are you in loss. So your category wise, you'll understand कि profit हुआ है या loss हुआ है. So whether you are into interiors or into um, contracting. So basic the solution was that uh, जैसे जैसे आगे आप बढ़ोगे वैसे वैसे यू हैव टू मेक श्योर वेदर जो जो आइटम मेरा खत्म हो रहा है, वेदर आई एम इन प्रॉफिट और वेदर आई एम इन लॉस इन दैट पर्टिकुलर trade or category. Does anybody have any questions or anything you want to uh, put? Please feel free to ask. If you haven't understood, if there's anything on a daily basis where you are facing any problems or anything, you can punch it. Till then, sir, I'll just ask this one question which is asked by a lot of people, which is when is Sidebook going to take company level reports? So right now the reports are created at a project level. So when does
Right.
Sidebook plan to get company level reports?
Raunak team is already working on that, and I think company level reports are very important when you want to check out payouts to the vendors or contractors overall, because you have same contractors, same suppliers across your 3 4 projects, and sometimes it becomes difficult कि कौन से साइट का कितना पेमेंट हुआ है उनको एक समरी लेवल पे मिलना. So we are working on that, and hopefully within 2 months we should be able to roll it out.
Okay, great, great. Uh, One more thing is like I'll just finish one aspect of what I've missed out, and then I'll ask the next question. So the main discussion whenever we had with architects and interior designers and contractors. So me and sir discussed this that at any point of time you should know whether you are in profit or loss. Let's assume I'm working on, say, a bungalow project, and tomorrow the project gets stalled due to some XYZ reasons. So at that point, I should know whether I am in profit or whether I am in loss. So that was one of the main reasons of the payment tracking as well. That the way we have rolled it out, that one main reason was that any point of time you should have this clarity that today I've got 21 lakh 65,000 as the amount which I've received from the client, and I've punched expenses of around 20.4 lakhs. So balance in my account, I have around 1.24 lakhs. So okay, fine. Even if the project stops today, I'm not in a loss. So whenever this is going to zero or below than lesser than that, then I need to worry. Obviously, there are overheads which you might not consider here, which you'll have to consider it if it's not at a project level. But that's the main aspect. So yes, going to the question I wanted to ask, sir. Uh, End of the day, all of us work to get profits. So is there a system one can have so that they do not have to worry about losing money in a certain project? So is there a system we can have in place? Please talk from a in whether I'm an interior designer or a contractor or an architect who is taking turnkey jobs. So from
Right.
that perspective, if you could enlighten us.
So Shaunak, architects or interior designers, they take jobs either on consultancy basis or turnkey, as you mentioned. Contractors usually take jobs on turnkey basis.
Yes.
What is the most riskiest part over here is So this is also is kind of manufacturing, right? So you are getting raw materials, you are appointing laborers to get the finished product. So this
Right.
is kind of manufacturing, but the whole uh, risky part in this is you are committing to the cost before you are manufacturing it. So if you
Right.
are a turnkey contractor in interiors or a bungalow, so you have to provide quotation to your client based on the scope of work discussed. But you have not actually manufactured the product. So suppose, for example, you are in this mobile manufacturing business. So what you do is you manufacture a prototype in the closed environment of factory. You know how much glass is
Right.
going to be there, buttons कितने हैं, battery क्या size का है. You know its price and then you sell it
Hmm.
by adding your profit. So you are very much assured that इसमें मेरा ये profit मिलने वाला है, थोड़ा बहुत ऊपर नीचे. But in our case, as I mentioned, you are not manufacturing it before and you are committing the entire price. So estimation plays very important role in this. So when I'm saying estimation, it's about its accuracy,
Hmm.
about quantity, right items pulled in the estimate, correct quantities and correct rates.
Hmm.
So second most important thing is you should be aware of the rates. What are the prevailing rates? What are the brands for that particular material or raw material available? What are the types?
So within
So,
interiors, it's infinite number of materials are there. So that it's a
correct,
major task for them.
correct. So, if you know everything about these things, then your estimate would be right. Then
Hmm.
you add your profit markup and then you commit to your client. Second most important thing is, though you have your estimation in place, you have to track the estimate against your expenses. Otherwise, if you have considered Jaguar X series tap and then you are buying Jaguar Y series tap, which is more costlier, so it's again not going to, it is going to kill your profits. So when you are taking turnkey jobs, first thing, the contract or the estimate or the quotation should be very crystal clear, mainly for the finishing materials.
Right.
So, whatever decisions would be made during the progress of the project, you have to identify those finishing items which are controlled by client. So, sometimes the decisions are kept open when
So
you are
something like
finalizing the quote.
vitrified tile or flooring work.
Correct. So, if you are mentioning Italian marble flooring, so in your estimate, if you have considered 350 rupees square feet of Italian marble, so you have to be very clear about it. And at the time of quotation, you have to hand over that separate list also to your client कि ये
Hmm.
1,000 स्क्वायर फुट इटालियन मार्बल लगने वाला है, उसका मेरा 350 रुपये प्राइस है और इतना अमाउंट हमने पकड़ा हुआ है इसका आपके टोटल कोटेशन या एस्टिमेट में. वो सेपरेट लिस्ट जो भी आपको लगता है इट वुड बी कंट्रोल्ड बाय योर क्लाइंट ड्यूरिंग द एग्जीक्यूशन फेज
Hmm.
and there could be changes possible at that particular stage. You have to make a separate list. आपके यहाँ पे साइड बुक में बिल ऑफ मटेरियल में भी वो मिल जाता है या विद इन एस्टिमेट यू कैन मार्क दोज आइटम्स इन सेपरेट कलर एंड स्पेसिफाई टू योर क्लाइंट्स 100 टाइम्स कि बॉस कॉस्ट एस्केलेट होगा अगर आप इसको फॉलो नहीं करोगे. आप दुकान में जाओगे और 70 रुपए विट्रीफाइड की जगह 90 रुपए का विट्रीफाइड टाइल खरीदोगे. You would be responsible for that cost escalation, not me. And I
Hmm.
would be charging you change order for that. Additionally, कंसल्टेशन बेसिस पे काफी आर्किटेक्ट्स इंटीरियर डिजाइनर्स जॉब्स लेते हैं. उनका मेन कंसर्न वही है. सो आजकल सबने डालना चालू किया है नीचे की 10% contingencies or cost escalation is should be considered
Right.
in whatever estimate I am giving. बट वो 10 का 20 भी हो जाता है कभी कभी.
Right. Right.
इसका एंड रिजल्ट क्या है? आपका फीस देने में बाद में क्लाइंट झिट करता है और आपका फाइनली लॉस होता है इफ यू आर अ टंकी कॉन्ट्रैक्टर और इवन इफ यू आर डूइंग इट ऑन कंसल्टेशन बेसिस. सो इसमें भी अगर आप कंसल्टेशन बेसिस पे भी ले रहे हो, सेपरेट लिस्ट ऑफ फिनिशिंग मटेरियल्स आपको क्लाइंट को देना ही है और वो उसके गले में ही उसका जिम्मेदारी डालना है कि
Hmm.
आप ये
Hmm.
फॉलो नहीं करोगे कॉस्ट एस्केलेट होने वाला है एंड यू वुड बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर इट, नॉट मी. ये स्टार्ट से बहुत क्लियर होना चाहिए।
राइट।
तो वही है, ड्यूरिंग एग्जीक्यूशन एक्सपेंसेस पंच करने हैं आपको और एस्टिमेट के अगेंस्ट ट्रैक करना है। जैसे जैसे एक एक आइटम, फर्स्ट आइटम है ब्रेकिंग ऑफ एग्जिस्टिंग फ्लोर टाइल्स रिनोवेशन प्रोजेक्ट में।
राइट।
तो उसमें आपका एस्टिमेट क्या था, खर्चा क्या हो गया, उधर ही आपको इंसाइट मिलेगा। थोड़ा कुछ लॉसेस हो गए तो आपको पता है कि बॉस मुझे कवर करना है लेटर ऑन। सो यू टेक सच स्टेप्स ड्यूरिंग द फॉलोइंग फेजेस ऑफ द एग्जीक्यूशन। So this is how you should make sure that the cost is broken down into small components and you track
Right.
it.
So I just want to add one thing, like what you explained about the manufacturing part. It is a very nice example कि in our industry हमको पहले बनाना है और फिर उसका कॉस्ट हमको समझता है, बट
नहीं,
वी हैव
उल्टा
टू
है, पहले हमको
पुट फॉर
कॉस्ट
इट।
कमिट करना है।
हाँ, पहले कॉस्ट,
कॉस्ट
यस,
कमिट
बट
करना है और
एक्चुअल
फिर
कॉस्ट
प्रोडक्ट
हमको बाद
बनाना
में
है।
समझता है।
हाँ, फिर प्रोडक्ट मैन्युफैक्चर करते हैं हम।
Right, right. So, but sir, if you correct me if I'm wrong, uh, अगर एकदम सिंप्लीफाई करना है ऑन अवॉइडिंग कॉस्ट ओवररन फॉर एनी बिजनेसमैन, कॉस्ट ओवररन ये मेन ये है कि ही डजंट वांट अ कॉस्ट ओवररन फॉर एनी प्रोजेक्ट whoever is taking a turnkey job. There is only two things which cause a cost overrun. First, only two things, okay? The factors could be numerous, but only two things. One is your consumption of the is more than the estimated quantity, for whether it is material, labor, machinery, could be anything. So your consumption is more than your estimate. And second, your purchase price is higher than your estimate. If anybody is able to control this, then I don't think there is a possibility of a cost overrun.
करेक्ट।
सो बाद में अगर वेरिएशंस होते हैं या इफ देर आर अदर थिंग्स विच आर इम्पैक्टिंग, देन दैट्स अ डिफरेंट थिंग, और प्रोजेक्ट डिले की वजह से कुछ होता है तो दोज रीजंस कुड बी न्यूमरस, स्पेसिफिकेशंस चेंज हो गए, ड्राइंग्स रिवाइज हो गए, बट एंड ऑफ द डे इफ दीज टू थिंग्स आर, यू मेक श्योर कि it is below than what you are estimating, then I don't think any project will ever go in loss. So,
करेक्ट।
for that also, we have this one feature for bill of materials, where suppose I'll take random materials. So let's assume I'm taking bricks right now from a certain supplier. I have two, three vendors. So we always suggest this to our clients that आप क्या करो, just export this and send this to maybe your two, three suppliers जो भी है, and end of the day your job is to make sure कि इस कॉस्ट से आगे नहीं जाना चाहिए. Now, there's this one very interesting example actually. We were discussing, so we have a few developers also who have taken this because mainly digital estimation उनको पसंद आया था. तो उन्होंने एक उस इसमें क्या चालू किया, दे स्टार्टेड टेलिंग देयर इंजीनियर्स और देयर साइट टीम कि तुमको ये यहाँ पे जो क्वांटिटी है ना, इसका तुमको रिक्विजिशन डालना है. That should be the final quantity. So this actually one developer only told us that they are following this, they are doing cost control in this manner. तो वो क्या करते थे, साइट इंजीनियर्स यूज टू पुट दिस एज द रिक्विजिशन, एंड देन दे यूज टू पुट पंच, पीओ के लिए जाता था. सो परचेस ऑर्डर एक बार इसका बन गया, मे बी दे नॉट गेट इट ऑन साइट, और दे जैसा लगेगा वैसे वो रिक्वायर मंगाएंगे साइट पे. बट इसके बाद, like for example, if I am putting adhesive as this quantity, if, and now that's the final quantity, that's the total project quantity, if a requisition for that particular material is raised again, then it becomes very easier for whoever is managing the परचेसेस कि भाई ये क्यों लग रहा है अभी तुमको, वेदर कुछ काम बढ़ गया है साइट पे, या तुम्हारा पहले ही खत्म हो गया, मतलब हमारा एनालिसिस हमको रिविजिट करना पड़ेगा, या तुमने दूसरे साइट पे भेजा है, वॉट एवर इज द रीजन, यू हैव टू टेल मी. सो इसमें उनका कॉस्ट कंट्रोल करना काफी इजी हो गया था. सो दिस वाज वन one developer only had shared this experience with us. So, anybody has any questions? So, somebody punched that payments will be based on running bill, not to a specified item. So, Sir, anything on this?
So payment would be definitely based on a running bill if you are into construction contracting business, but that payment would be about some category, right? Suppose you are paying your subcontractor of masonry, so that cost would be attached to that masonry category. So you have to punch that bill amount in masonry category. That's it. Because you must be having some estimate for that particular project for masonry. सो मेशनरी का ये एस्टिमेट है और ये लेबर पेमेंट गया, मटेरियल पेमेंट गया, इतना पेमेंट हो गया, एंड यू हैव टू कंपेयर इट एक्सपेंस एंड एस्टिमेट.
Okay, great. Anybody has any more questions related to payments, expense tracking, please put it. This payments is you can start using it. All sidebook, whether you are light, pro, premium, any user can punch the expenses. So feel free to start using
और
it.
शौनक, मैंने देखा है कि लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर डूइंग दिस एक्सपेंस ट्रैकिंग बट इन एक्सेल, and that becomes very tedious for them. They have to sit on their laptop at the end of the day and do the jugglery, and summation sometimes goes wrong, or linking sometimes goes wrong, and filters are applied, but you don't recognize that filters are applied, so the numbers below are false. So I think take option like this for managing your expense and tracking expenses against estimate is very easy and very interesting thing, and it's very useful.
Yes. So just
Second,
about this, sorry, sir, to interrupt, but I met an architect last week where once I showed him the expense tracking, he showed me his Excel sheet. That Excel sheet had multiple sheets in it, and it was all linked together. So he told me, भाई मैं ये अब तक ये ऐसे कर रहा था इसका ट्रैकिंग. एंड ही हिज प्रॉब्लम वाज कि मैं अगर करता हूँ तो मैं बराबर पंच करता हूँ, बट इफ आई टेल इट टू एन अकाउंटेंट और टेल इट टू समवन, देन कुछ ना कुछ उसमें गड़बड़ हो जाता है. बट देन आई सजेस्टेड कि आप उसमें वर्क कोलैबोरेशन जो साइड बुक में आता है, यू कैन गो फॉर दैट ऑप्शन. एंड
you can punch these expenses on the go using your mobile app.
या दैट्स वन.
तो आप कहीं पे भी end of the day or lunch break में या payments and punch it straight away on the go.
यस.
सेकेंड, शौनक, में एक बात कहना भूल गया व्हेन वी वर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट एस्टिमेशन, दैट मोस्टली मेनली फॉर द इंटीरियर डिजाइनर्स और आर्किटेक्ट्स, कि आजकल बहुत सारे नए आइटम्स आए हुए, नए मटेरियल्स आए हुए, और ड्यू टू एक्सेस टू इंस्टाग्राम और पिंटरेस्ट, आपके क्लाइंट्स आपके पास, दे मस्ट बी ब्रिंगिंग यू सम रेफरेंस इमेजेस कि हमको ये करना है, ये करना है. And there could be case that you might not be knowing its cost or from where to procure it, what is that exact material, what should be the labor cost. Please feel free to get back to us with that image. We will do all the research. We have very strong engineering team. We have good connections in the market, supplier network, and other industry stakeholders. We will do the analysis for you कि ये इसका असेंबली है, इतना मटेरियल इसको अलग अलग लगता है, हाउ टू इंस्टॉल इट, व्हाट लेबर गोस फॉर दैट, एंड ये इसका टोटल कॉस्ट आता है, सो दैट you would be most assured to put it in an estimate based on our report.
यस.
और देते हैं लोग हमारे पास, देर आर industry professionals who send us such raw details, and we work out the detailed cost for them.
Yes. So one thing I forgot to mention was the other filters. So a lot of times I मैंने जो एक एक्सपेंस पंच किया था उसमें मैंने अनपेड डाला था. मतलब अनपेड मतलब क्या कि सपोज आई गेट एन इनवॉइस विच इज ऑफ मे बी 50,000 एंड आई पे अ पार्शियल अमाउंट मे बी 10,000 15,000 वट एवर. सो इसमें नाउ मैनेजिंग दैट विथ दिस इज वेरी इजी. सो लेट्स अज्यूम अ सबकॉन कम्स एंड ही सेज कि भाई मेरा ये pending a payment. So I'll just go to say this MF Painters and I'll put the status as unpaid. So I know here कि टोटल मेरा 1 लाख का अभी तक अनपेड पेमेंट्स है, और यहाँ पे मुझे समझ रहा है कि उसने अब तक 2 लाख के इनवॉइसेस भेजे थे जिसमें से 50,000 ऐसे ऐसे इस डेट्स को मैंने पे किया है, और अभी तक इतना मेरा बचा है, 1 लाख मेरा बचा है. सो मैनेजिंग योर वेंडर पेमेंट्स बिकम्स एक्सट्रीमली इजी विद इन अ सेकेंड. आप साइट पे जाओगे, बहुत बार ऐसा भी होता है कि से और लेबर सबकॉन से सर एटलीस्ट खर्चे पानी के लिए आज मेरे को 2,000 दे दो और वट एवर. ये जब आप एक्सेल पे करते हो ना, ये एटलीस्ट इफ यू आस्क मी, आई डाउट कि वो कभी बाद में ऑफिस में जाके वो एंटर करना होता है. बट इफ इट्स ऑन द मोबाइल, सो आई एम जस्ट शोइंग यू ऑन द डेस्कटॉप, but all this is synced with your mobile as well. So let's assume I'm an accountant, I'm punching expense. You can check it in your mobile as well. So वो पूरा automatically वहां पे भी आ जाएगा. और maybe you punch an expense in your mobile, so that will be reflected here. So that's because the software is on cloud. uh,
इवन
so
जो पेमेंट्स आपको रिसीव होते हैं क्लाइंट से, तो वो भी बहुत बार कभी कैश में होते हैं, समटाइम्स इट इज बाय यूपीआई, समटाइम्स
yes.
बाय आरटीजीएस. तो दोज डिटेल्स ऑल्सो यू कैन पंच. कभी हस्बैंड से कुछ आता है, कभी वाइफ कुछ पे करती है, और बाद में फिर कंफ्यूजन होता है कि किसने कितना कैश दिया, किसके अकाउंट से कितना पैसा आया. सो इट्स जस्ट सो सिंपल. जस्ट ऐड रिसिप्ट्स एंड पंच द डिटेल्स एंड इट विल गिव ऑल काइंड ऑफ डिटेल्स. मतलब रिसिप्ट में जाके आपको सिर्फ फिल्टर लगाना है कि मुझे टोटल कैश में कितना क्लाइंट से पैसा आया. आई थिंक इट्स अंडर रिसिप्ट, शौनक,
Yeah, I
नॉट
think I
एक्सपेंस.
haven't punched many receipts.
ओके ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम. सो दीज डिटेल्स आर ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. जब क्लाइंट और सडनली आपको कॉल करता है और बोलता है मुझे सारे डिटेल्स भेजो, कैसे कैसे मैंने आज तक पेमेंट दिया, सो इट बिकम्स वेरी हैंडी.
Yes, and one more thing, when I speak with especially interior designers, so उनका ये concern रहता है. So a lot of people have told कि भाई अगर कल जाके कुछ प्रॉब्लम होता है, because we get a lot of payments in cash. So ये तो पूरा हमारा सॉफ्टवेयर में है. I don't know whether I should be speaking this, but it is actually more
ऑफ द
safe here.
रिकॉर्ड.
हाँ, yeah, off the record, it is more safer in this, बिकॉज मैं कल जाके अगर ऐप डिलीट कर दूंगा मोबाइल पे, तो लेट्स से 1 महीने बाद मैंने वापस वो इंस्टॉल किया, सो माई डेटा इज गोइंग टू बी देयर इटसेल्फ. डेटा किधर भी नहीं जाने वाला, एंड नोबडी इज गोइंग टू नो कि कहाँ पे मैं ट्रैक करता हूँ. सो पुटिंग इट इन एक्सेल और पुटिंग इट ऑन अ बुक इज एक्चुअली मच रिस्कियर. सो ये हम, बिकॉज लॉट्स ऑफ इंटीरियर डिजाइनर्स हैव दिस कंसर्न कि ये ऐसा होता है तो क्या कर सकते हैं. सो एक्चुअली इट्स मोर सेफर. सो there's a couple of questions. Are different currencies available to be considered while entering the payment value, or is it only rupees?
सो आई थिंक इन साइड बुक वी हैव provision to select the currency at project level. So if
Yeah,
you have
I
some project in Dubai, you can select currency as dirham for that particular project, and you can
yes.
punch all your expense or receipts or your quotation would be in dirhams.
Okay. So before we move to the next question, Prajakta, can you just punch in the Google form? So those who would like, those who are, I think there are a few people who are new and haven't, like, are first time visitors for Sidebook. So if you want, you can, or you are using the Sidebook but have not taken any of the versions, you can just fill the form. So you'll get a call from our team regarding a demo or anything. So one question is there a chance to show GST?
Yes, definitely. So Sidebook has provision to uh, apply GST to your subcontractor payments, as well as if you are a GST registered professional, you can charge GST to your clients. And if you are getting set off, even in settings, there is a provision so that it would not consider it GST as your input cost because you would be getting set off. So your estimate or quotation would be more competitive because
Yes.
it would consider your set off as well.
Yes. So it will kind of auto calculate and reduce your whatever set off you'll get back from the government. It will reduce that
Yeah.
cost. Uh, can we get this facility for consultancy project? So actually, that's quite a nice this. So even consultants, so there was sir one consultant who was using it. He had added his client,
Okay.
wherein he had given rights for only the payment part to the client. And whenever he punched an expense, what he used to do was he used to punch it as unpaid. So the client used to know कि okay, ये मेरे अब तक के total unpaid. These are the payments which are
Right.
certified by the consultant, and
Correct.
now I have to make the payment for that, or maybe the consultant
Right.
can make the payments for that.
Correct. So even if you take the jobs on consultancy basis, clients do expect that record keeping would be done by you, even if they are paying directly to the suppliers or vendors or contractors. So for record keeping, you can definitely use this payment section. And as Shaunak mentioned, for certification of invoices, material or labor. So once you certify, you can punch it as unpaid. Client would get to see in his mobile app कि ये आपने certify किया है as unpaid, and then he will pay it and mark it as paid.
Great. So, if there are any more questions, please put it. The form has basic three things. One is your name, your contact details, and then it will ask whether you are a architect, interior designer, contractor. And then we have an option where if you just want to use the payments, you can go for the light version, which is the basic version within Sidebook. There's also an object because you guys are putting in these efforts, coming in for the webinar, want to learn something new, we have given the premium features, which is basically everything. That is digital estimation. You have the rate library, you get bill of materials automatically, you can track expenses, invoicing, all those features you'll get for 3 months. It is actually the total price of the software, you get it for 1 year for 12,000. But because you are putting in those efforts, we'll also like to help you out with giving that for only 2000 rupees. So that's also an option. So not necessary that you have to, you if you put that option that then we'll keep calling you and telling you sir aap lene wale the kya hua, that won't happen. Just let us know if you're interested, we'll still show you the full tool, and then you can decide whether which option you can go for. Is there a demo video for Sidebook usage? Yeah, there is a demo video, sir. But I would suggest that take a one-on-one demo so that because the one-on-one demo we'll ask you a few questions on what type of work you do, how do you execute it, currently what you're using. So it will be for you specifically. So you can just fill. I think Prajakta has sent you the uh, Google form. So just put it there so that and we know that we'll have to give you a call. Cost of sound, no, 2000 rupees is the, so cost of software is 12,000 rupees. That's the premium version. Okay, so it has everything. It has, you get 6 users, you have digital estimation, work collaboration, you want to share it with a third person, व्यू ओनली में शेयर करना है तो वो आप वैसे कर सकते हो उसमें। 2000 रुपीज फॉर 3 मंथ्स, ये ऐसा क्यों कर रहे? उसका वी डोंट गिव इट टू एनी वन फॉर 2000 रुपीज फॉर 3 मंथ्स। इट इज नाउ द कॉस्ट इज 12,000 फॉर 1 ईयर, बट वी आर गिविंग इट फर्स्ट। रीजन इज आपको समझेगा वेदर दिस टूल इज फॉर यू, वेदर it is solving your purpose. That is the first thing. Plus, in that 2000, you get all features. We give you the full training. So, till your team gets on board, we'll keep training you, whether it is on a daily basis. If you ask me, it will take you 2 days. There are, we have architects, interior designers who didn't even take a single training and they're still using. So, these are all organic payments. We don't even know who these guys are. So, we from our side keep on messaging, sir, if you need any help, let us know. But a lot of times it could be a lot of people might think that भाई मैं अगर 12,000 दूंगा बाद में ये कॉल भी नहीं उठाएगा तो क्या हो सकता है? So that's why give pay 2000, you'll get an idea of whether it is solving your purpose or no. uh, I am interested but want to see the demo in detail. I have joined later. Yeah, I'll just fill this please. I'll just put it again. So just fill the form. If you could just right now open it, it will be then you can later on track it. Or else you can contact us as well. No, 12,000 is per year. We are a subscription based platform. So a lot of times people ask us ki why is it not lifetime? So see, we would be the most happiest to give it lifetime. We would be more than happy to sell it to you for maybe 60, 70,000 and then take a certain maintenance. I'll give you an example of my father. He's into contracting. As I explained, he's using Sidebook. Uh, he took some software. I'll not name it. It was given to him on a perpetual basis. I think it was priced uh, maybe around 6, 7 years back. It was priced at maybe something around 40,000 or so. Today, that company he didn't pay the company is not existing right now, and even if he's paid all the amounts, the per year fee, we had something like 4,000,
MC.
5,000. Yeah, AMC. So then still, the company, if I had to call them or they had to come, even if after paying that, the training they gave or uh, it wasn't quick. The service wasn't quick. So when you're taking any SaaS company, okay, I'll talk this on behalf of all SaaS companies. Always prefer a software which is giving you on a subscription basis, because the service they will give will be the best. Because 12,000 से मेरा server cost, even the server cost will not be completed in 12,000 per year. We're taking only 1,000, that is including GST. So आपको उसमें भी सेट ऑफ मिलेगा. सो 1,000 महीने का मतलब, मैं एक अगर लंच करूंगा ना तो भी मेरा 2,000 बाहर हो सकता है, इफ आई गो टू अ फाइन डाइन रेस्टोरेंट. सो यू आर पेइंग 1,000 इन विच यू आर गेटिंग ऑल फीचर्स. All future updates are free of cost. All the trainings throughout that year, you have maybe 10 employees and then add more 5 employees, all of them will be given free training. And see that 12,000, I'm it's not going to benefit me. But if you are not satisfied, maybe let's assume you pay 12,000. If you are not satisfied, आपको अगर you are not getting the results in lakhs or crores paying this software, you are not going to renew. So then it's my loss. Your loss is going to be only 12,000, but I'm going to lose a client who would probably be my client for the next 10 years and who would be referring to maybe more 10 people. So we have users who are now doing a lot of, like, they have loved the tool and are referring as well. So let's assume you don't go with Sidebook, but always choose a software which is on a subscription, because they'll give you the best service. So I think we'll end it here. Please fill the form if you're interested. If there's anything you would like to know more, we'd be happy to help. Um, that's about it. Sir, anything you have missed out on, you want to add anything?
Nothing, just want to add that we are always here. So whatever technical or technological help you need, you can always reach out to us and we would be happy to help.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for being so patient. We had decided that it would be probably 30, 40 minute session, but thank you very much for sticking with us. We'll make sure that you guys benefit if you go for any of the subscription. Thank you.
Thank you.